Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm your host, David Tear, and today is the seventh day of my new feature where I'm counting down the top 3,000 songs from my personal list of what I consider roughly the 3,000 rock songs of all time from 1954 to 1999. And now I'm up to song number 2994, which is this one, Knockin' on Heaven's Door by Eric Clapton. And when I first heard this song, I really didn't like it. I don't even remember when I first heard this song. I think I first heard Bob Dylan's version. It was originally written and recorded by Bob Dylan, and it was featured in a movie. I'll get to that later. But here's a picture of Eric Clapton. He was a very, I'm sure you guys all know who he was. He was a very famous rock musician, probably considered one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Also wrote and recorded some very great songs, I think. Not, Knocking on Heaven's Door. I do think it's a good song. I don't think it's one of his best, but anyway, that's Eric Clapton. And like I mentioned, Knocking on Heaven's Door was written by Bob Dylan. He wrote it in 1973. I think it was his first big composition from the 70s, and he recorded a version too, which I wasn't really crazy about when I first heard it. I just learned that it was, and here's a picture of the singles cover. And anyway, yeah. So he featured. It was the theme song of this movie here. Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. I never saw this movie. It looks like it was a western about Billy the Kid and maybe Pat Garrett, who I think killed him. He's probably a marshal or a police officer stopped him in the Old West. I don't know the story, but anyway, the song was from the movie, and I never really knew what it was about either. Maybe it would have helped me if I saw the movie. I think it sounds like he's very disillusioned. I assume it's Pat Garrett is the one who's singing it, the one who played Pat Garrett. I don't know if Bob Dylan paid him in the movie or who played him in the movie, but he's saying, "Take these guns off of me. I can't use them anymore. Take this badge off of me." He's very disillusioned. I think it was because his friend died or something. So he witnessed firsthand some terrible violence, and maybe he got injured too. Maybe that's why he says he feels like he's knocking on heaven's door. But like I said, I don't really know that much what this song is about. I don't think it's one of my favorite Bob Dylan songs. Yeah, but I do like Eric Clapton's version. I actually think Eric Clapton sings it a little better than Bob Dylan did. Bob Dylan was a terrible singer, by the way. Great songwriter, but terrible singer. It wasn't hard to beat him in his singing. And yeah, I guess "Knocking on Heaven's Door" was a pretty popular song. I mean, it was not a top 40 hit or even a Billboard hit for Eric Clapton. I think it was for Bob Dylan. I think it reached like around number 31 or something. I don't know exactly where it reached for Bob Dylan, but I believe it was a top 40 hit for him. It wasn't a top 40, it wasn't a Billboard hit in America, but it was a hit in some other countries for Eric Clapton, including the UK and the Netherlands. I think those are the countries where it performed the best. But several other artists recorded it as well, including Guns N' Roses. These guys here, I think they did a really good version of the song, by the way. I kind of like their whiny, kind of heavy metal sound to that song. And also this woman here, Randy Crawford. She had a hit with it too, and several other people also recorded the song. It was a very famous song, and from what I understand, it's considered probably Bob Dylan's best song from after the '60s. I don't think it's really his best. I can even think of some more recent songs that I like better from Bob Dylan. But it was a big hit, and a lot of people liked it, and I like it, but I think it's kind of grown on me. So, I think it's an okay song. And like I said, I think Eric Clapton did a very good version of it. So that's my profile on Knocking on Heaven's Door. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.